Evening, folks. John Pettipas making a recording. This one will get the people talking. The title of my video is Sell Your Lobster License Now When It Still Has Some Value. So your lobster license, which is worth $1 million plus, I'm certain you'd be glad to take 250, 300 grand if there's any takers for it within 36 months. What am I talking about? BBC World News has had this on all afternoon and evening. Now the PBS News era, big deal at the climate. Oh, it's a big. It's like the green energy. It's energy transition. It's big. It's big. Okay, so you've experienced now. You're going to have a lot more rope, and the seasons have been cut short for crab, I believe it is. And not about lobster, but many fishing, because there's a whale seen in an area. You've got to have big long rope to let the whale run away with, if it gets tangled in it or something like that there, with more rope for the case a whale or porpoise or something like that comes in the fishing area. You have, I seen an ad in just before Christmas. Crab was only $49 a pound. Only. Pick up 5 or 6 pounds. Only $250, $300. There's people out there with real lives. Heating bills. Milk for the family. Groceries on the table. You know, not everybody wants to pay infinite prices for seafood. It's become the food of the riches of the rich. Now, the parts of the world that are growing big time: Brazil, Belgium, Congo, Egypt, Nigeria, island nation of Indonesia, India. Some of those countries don't eat lobster for religious reasons or heat. There's not a lot of refrigeration in them. And they want something to eat. And what they want to eat is not lobster. Yes, you say China. You have trade things, and you can criticize me, blah, 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 and this here. I repeat, sell your lobster license now when it still has value. I know somebody bought his son a $2 million crab license last year up in between Camp and Inverness. And argued with me one evening on the phone, was blue in the face, that the cruise ship business would make crab. Now, early in the season, crab license, because there's no crab season, crab season opened up in March last year, and will this year again if the ice blows out. And so they got a very good price for crab. But then the inventories were there, and the price by July had fallen in half. Now, you'll argue with me that the price of lobster is $10, $11, $12 a pound in Yarmouth. The reason the price of lobsters, dear fishermen, that can be so greedy, and you're smarter than anybody in the world, just so smart, and short memory though. Very short memory. 98% of fishermen have very short memory. There's poor Alzheimer's patients have a better memory. And it's a very sad disease, Alzheimer's. The reason lobster prices are so high in Southwest Nova is because the catches are poor. Like a volume-based business. And you can sell one can of beans at $2. You can sell 2 cans at $1.50, or everybody come and buy your lobster. You're special at $1 a can. That's why the limit to 3 or 4 cans per person. So there's a relationship between volume and price. $20 a pound for lobsters doesn't mean much if your catches go down to a quarter of what they were. You've had some wonderful years, and I'm proud of you, and it's helped the economy out, and so on. That's fine and dandy. But you've had record prices and record catches. So, of course, you've had a fantastic business conditions. But now we've also seen, I mentioned the UN UN ocean protocol or agreement, whatever you want to call it. They've been yapping about all afternoon on the BBC World News out of London and on the PBS News Hour just a few minutes ago. You did see that one of your main sources of bait is mackerel, and it just 1 year they cut it in half. Somebody I know argued very hard to save part of it. This year they just eliminated it. So people started using green crab and frozen and salted other species of fish, but it's not as convenient as mackerel. Anyway, you have a war coming up with communist China. You take the Chinese market of lobsters. I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna put price on my prediction. $3 or $4 a pound, and possibly as low as $2 a pound. That's for your markets. That's your market lobsters. What is he talking about? Well, before you criticize me in this video, I want you to hold off in 18, 24 months, 2 seasons out, 3 seasons out, and tell me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Hope everybody. But the problem is, when catches fall off, the price of license is worth a lot less. It'll take a long time before confidence will build up to pay for the. Right now, it's like ecstasy. It's like somebody in the illicit drug trade. The greed in the shellfish fisheries, in my opinion, is no different. The greed, capital G, greed is an awful thing. The greed in the shellfish industry is the same as you see in the illicit drug business. And it's like ecstasy. They're on a high. I can remember about 25 years ago, somebody bought a bunch of, what did they pay? $1.25, $1.50 a pound for canners, and took them up to Ontario to sell them. And I'm not wishing at an industry. I'm just telling you, there's a real world and there's a market out there. And I repeat, the title of my video is Sell Your Lobster License Now When It Still Has Value. And you can always buy it back. You can buy back gear for cheaper and keep your boat and gear if you want. Another thing you've had is you've had no big storms. There's been years when fishermen lost a lot of traps. Yes, you said wire traps, blah, blah, blah. Maybe tougher, wooden traps. Force of wind, when Mother Nature gets on your case, wind and wooden traps don't have much of a chance. And wire traps can get damaged as well. You've had no storms to speak of, no serious storms at least, in lobster fishing season for a long time. So you've been on a very lucky streak. And I'm not making this video be nasty or petty or jealous. I am just telling you, sell your lobster license now when it still has value. And 18, 24 months, phone me up and tell me I was wrong. With that, I got to go. Thank you very much. All the best. God bless. Happy fishing. But the price of lobster and crab licenses is in the stratosphere. Okay? And after you get a few shitty years, or catches start declining, it'll be a long time before people's going to pay those prices. And that's just simple economics. It can be, that also applies to other industries. With that, I got to go. All the best. God bless. Good night.